Hi everybody and welcome to BCom 1305. I'm your instructor Tim Park. I want to cover some things that you have requested information about the class. So I want to cover the syllabus, the class schedule, presentations, and job interviews. So first, the syllabus. Download it, print it out, read it. Ta-da! Enough said. Schedule. Download it, print it, look through it, try to understand it. The big thing to understand about the schedule is everything that is in week one, whether that's multi-lines or not, should be accomplished within week one. And I've broken the course down into chapters, so chapter 1 and chapter 12 are in week 1, so you need to make sure that you do all those assignments, which would be reading, PowerPoint slides, understanding those, and then whatever assignments are given to you in that chapter. And basically everything is due, whether it's an assignment or a small chapter test, on Sunday night at 11:59 each week. So don't wait until 11:50 to start your test, or it will time out and you'll get kicked out. And whatever you make on it is whatever you make. So you probably want to, you can start at 11:30. You can probably have enough time to finish those small chapter tests. And the chapter tests go from 5 questions to 25. And it's just because I want you to, maybe there's something in the chapter that I really want you to know. If I had my druthers, I'd probably give you a 50 question chapter test on chapter 1 because it's so important, but you have other things to do, so I'm trying not to kill you the first week. So there's that. Let's talk about presentations. Presentations are done as a group, but you will not meet as a group to do your presentations. You record them. In the past, we have done it as a group over Blackboard Collaborate, which is like Skype, but I can see multiple videos. But instead of doing that this semester, since we have a compressed time frame, I want the people to meet as a group to understand who will do the following things. And if you read chapter 12, you understand it's who's going to do the intro, who's going to do the body. If there's 4 people, there'll be actually 2 people doing the body, and who's going to do the conclusion. You can't do an intro usually for 4 minutes. So the person that does the intro is going to have to do the intro plus a couple of salient points about the chapter. Same thing with the person who does the conclusion. They'll have to do some 2 or 3 points about the chapter and then have a conclusion. So that will make a presentation. When you turn in your presentation, because you're going to record it, I need you to tell me what group you're in, what part of the presentation you're doing, of course your name, that'll show up to me, and just give me a little blurb about, hey, we're doing chapter 12, I'm doing the intro, and my name's Billy Bob. Okay, fair enough. So if you send that to me, one other thing. When you talk about who's going to do what during the presentation, you need to have a PowerPoint that I can follow through with, because even though there's death by PowerPoint, you have to understand what PowerPoint is and how to use it. I do not want one person doing everybody's PowerPoints. They need to be individually done. And the PowerPoints need to match as far as the background or whatever you're using. So don't send me 4 or 3 different types of backgrounds and fonts and everything. It needs to have the same design basically. So you'll need to figure that out and distribute that design to everybody. And it doesn't have to be flashy, because I'm going to be following along as you're giving your presentation. Okay, so there's that. As far as your interview, I think the interview is the most important thing that you're going to get out of the class other than your presentation skills. And the reason it is because I actually give you feedback based upon my 20-odd years of experience of firing people. So the one thing that you don't get when you don't get a job is you don't get feedback on your interview, because everybody's worried about getting sued. So here's your chance to get feedback that really should help you. one student said some things like, well, let me be honest with you, during his interview, and he said it a lot. And he said, well, I don't understand how come I don't get these jobs after I have these interviews. And I looked at him and I said, probably because you say, well, let me be honest with you, about 50 times during your interview, and that probably makes people think, well, is he not being honest with me any other time? So little things like that can really throw you off, and so that's what I'm going to help you figure out. We'll also review your resume, and we take your resume in your job interview and put them together for one grade. So the week before, make sure that you send me your resume and your job description. So when we do meet, we can do it pretty fast and expeditiously. So we will meet as a group. We'll meet on Collaborate, which you'll have to figure out how Collaborate works. There's a link in Blackboard that tells you about Collaborate. And you'll need to make sure that you have a fast internet connection so we can all get together and get this done without having to wait on technology. So I really recommend that as a group, you guys get together an hour before our scheduled time and make sure the technology works. One other thing is that I need one person to contact me via email and say, group number 1 or whatever would like to meet you for our interviews on this date at this time, or this date at this time, or this date at this time. Give me at least 2 dates to choose from that you all can meet together online through Collaborate and make the meeting happen for your interviews. And the reason I do the interviews all together is because you really get some great feedback seeing other people interview, how well they do or how bad they do, and that really helps the whole process as far as understanding interviewing. And it makes you a little bit more nervous that there are other people besides just me watching you do your interview. And I want you to be nervous because that's what interviewing is all about. You're nervous, you're uptight. So I want to give you that same expectations as if you're having a real interview. And I'll treat it that way too. Okay, so we talked about interviews, we've talked about presentations, we've talked about the syllabus and the schedule. Hopefully I've answered more of your questions than I brought questions up. Remember, I'm here to help. I really, really, truly am. I want everyone to do well and be successful in business and in life and in the class. So any way I can help, I'm here for you. Send me an email, call me on my Skype phone, or not Skype, but call me on my Gmail account phone number, whatever they call it, G phone or whatever. And or you can also text me on that too. I might not get back to you if you text me right away or call me. I might let it roll over, but I will get back to you as long as you do the one thing that you have to do. If you send me a voicemail, give me a voicemail. If you don't repeat your name and your phone number twice, I probably won't call you back. Don't just say, hi, this is Billy Bob, 473, thank you very much. Because I don't know what to do and I didn't get that and it's going to drive me crazy. So whenever you leave a voicemail, it's your name, your phone number, slowly given to me. Then what you need, I need to ask you a question about X, and then your name and phone number again. That way I know I've got it. All right, guys, that's it. Sorry for the long video, but I think it's going to answer a lot of your questions, hopefully. I look forward to working with each and every one of you. One thing I'm going to try to do this week is call everybody in my classes. Now I got 60 people to call, so I might not be able to call everybody. But if you get a phone call from me, don't freak out. I'm just introducing myself to let you know, I'm not that man behind the curtain in The Wizard of Oz. I'm actually a real person. I look forward to talking to each and every one of you and to the class the next 10 weeks. Take care.